Yeah, I all today will be mainly discussing about the network security groups and the practicality of this concept that we have discussed in the last session. So, yeah, as you know, it's a security group. Definitely, it comes under the application protection services. So, when I say it's application, yeah, it will be protecting our resources so that it will help us to filter the network traffics to and from Azure Resources. So mainly it will be applied on a virtual network. So let's see, we have like I'll be coming to this scenario so that here we have a few VMs in a virtual network and there are few subnet too. And yeah, there are uh, VMs, subnets, and we do have different VMs and there are different level of NSGs and all available. So I'll be coming to that. Yeah, before that, yeah, so we are like face an issue with that kind of this thing, no, creating sandboxes and something. So if you guys are getting something like that, then just create another account, another Microsoft account, and just try and then check whether it is working or not. Still, if it is not working, you are getting issue something, and you are not like getting any updates from Microsoft or something, then I recommend to go with this trial account so that you will get a initial $200 of credits and you can utilize that. So make sure that whenever you are creating a resource or something, make sure that you are deleting it right after the activity. So that's how we need to make our lab like to avoid unnecessary billings and all. Otherwise, like if something is running 24 bar 7, then it may cost you a lot more and the bill will shoot up. So ideally, it will lose your credits. Like you will be getting, I think, yeah, it's $200. So you can utilize that. So make sure that whenever you are creating the resources or whatever, you are deleting it after that lab itself. So that's how we need to work it on. So we can go for that. I recommend to get an free trial account. So yeah, creating account, yeah, it's easy. It's easy like you just need to go to Azure.com and then there you will get an option to create account. There you need to put some your details and also the credit card details as well, so that you can start your free trial. It will be for a month and you will get some services till 1 year actually, but the subscription will be like invalid, will be expired after 1 month. That's how this works. So the subscription, if we have the subscription, then we will be able to manage things in that. So it will be something like that. Just try it out. Okay. So that better. If you are not getting that sandbox as expected. Okay. Abdullah, you are also facing the same issue. Okay. You have that environment up and running.
So I only addressed the issue.
Okay, okay. So yours is resolved now, or?
No, sir. I said right. It takes like I think 3 days to get a reply from them.
Okay, you are still facing the same. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, just try to create another, as I said, no, just try to create another account and then try. So I think it will be sorted. If not, then just go for creating a trial account. Okay.
So like I have to cancel the membership under 30 days, right?
Uh, no, you don't have to, like you didn't enroll that free account now, right?
Not yet, not yet.
Yeah. Then you can, yeah, ideally, like it will be on that email and the credit card that we are using. So just go with that, and if you feel you need, if you have a reserved email or an extra credit card or something, then you will be getting an opportunity to get another trial account with $200 credits. So like that also you can work. So it's better to create a trial account for now and then do all these stuff, because if you are facing issues with that sandbox, first of all, just try with another email and try to start that sandbox. And if not, if it is not happening, then just go to this trial account. So if you have already enrolled for the trial account with some emails and the credit cards, then just try with some other cards and some other emails. So give you another trial account, which is valid for 1 month. Will give you 200 credits, but there are some limitations. Limitations in the sense the it will not support a huge amount of workloads, but in it for learning purpose, that's more than enough actually. So just go and take it like that. And now I'll be discussing on the agenda that today we have. So mainly we will be discussing on that so today, which is accept that we need to
So
understand.
still, I couldn't hear voice. It's not clear.
Okay, okay. How about now?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, if you are facing any issues, just let me know so that I can. Maybe sometimes I don't know how it's happening, but sometimes. So, as I said, this network security group is something like a filter, actually. So, it will filter that traffic. Okay, it will filter some traffic to and from Azure Resources. So main thing is to and from. So it can allow or deny, traffic from or to Azure Resources. Okay, so
Is it
mainly,
a yeah, sorry, sir? Is it a hub and spoke type?
no, it is like, yeah, see, this is a virtual network. So inside a virtual network, you have a few different subnets, subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3. And here we have different VMs as well. Subnet 1, we have two VMs, subnet 3 and 2, we have one VM each, right? So what happens here, there are different levels of sync. this NSG is something something we are like like the abbreviation actually. So NSG, that is what this network security group, and it is mainly to filter. So I will tell you how what it is actually. So you can see that one NSG is applied over here, and another NSG is applied over here, right? So basically, as I said, it will filter traffic. So do you remember? Just I said we can configure like whether we need to allow a traffic to a subnet or not, right? When we say that if we are taking an RDP with the help of a public IP, what we said, it has to go inside, right? And here. So here we can configure something, whether we need to allow or deny like that. So that is accomplished with the help of NSG. Okay. So it's a filter that will help us to restrict the access to a subnet or a VNet. Okay. So this NSGs can be attached to a subnet level or a NICAD level as well, which means like we can attach this NSG to this subnet one. Okay, here we have NSG1, right? This NSG1 is associated with what? This subnet one. Okay, so NSG1 is associated with subnet one. Okay, and actually NSG2 is associated with what? NIC1. Do you get that idea?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here what happens? Like this, we can assign. We can assign this actually. Like we can assign NSG to NICAD level. Also, we can assign NSG to subnet level. So if here NSG1 is assigned in a subnet level, that's why you are able to see two NSGs over here. Here we have two VM. So what all resources we have in like we have in the subnet, this NSG will be applied to those VMs or the resources. So which means I don't need to do a mapping, or I don't need to manually apply any kind of NSGs over here. Since it is applied in our subnet level, it will be applied by default. Okay. And this is NIC1, NICAD 1, means network interface of card 1. So NSG2 is applied to this NICAD. That's why here we are getting NSG2 and here we are getting NSG2. We don't have any NSG here for this VM2 and VM4 as well. That's why, see, in VM4 what happens? There is no subnet level NSG, correct? There is no filtering technology that we are using in subnet 4. So VM4 will not have any kind of filtering of traffic and all. But in subnet 1, VM2, what happens? It is not having NIC1. That's why NSG2 is not applied over here. But since this VM is in subnet 1, NSG1 is applied to subnet level. So this NS1 will be applicable to this VM. And in subnet 2, we are assigning NIC to this VM. That's why by default, this NSG2 is applied in this VM. because what NSG2 is associated with the NIC card. You have any confusions on this? I'll clear it for you.
Yes, sir. Sir, why are we not putting NSG1 and NSG2 in the virtual machine 4?
4. Yeah, this is 4 actually. Just explaining the concept. Concept means here I didn't have any NSGs, which means I didn't like associate any kind of NSGs to this NIC. That's why I'm able to do it right away. Like even if I'm taking 3389 RDP, or if it is a Linux server, then 22 SSH, I'm able to do because I don't have any restrictions here. Okay. And in VM3, I need to go through what? NSC2. Then I need to enter into VM. So it is like to explain you. It is not like a what? It is not like a infrastructure that I deployed to do something. It's completely on explaining you this concept. So do you get me?
Sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt. I had a question. This is kind of out of box.
Okay.
So the people who work as Azure network engineer, they only focus on like network security groups. Is their main domain of work?
Yeah, I can say like yeah. In networking, yeah, we do have normally VNet, also subnets. There will be NSGs that we will be configuring. Also, there will be VPN. Then and so kind of architecture. Yeah, mainly this will be the area mainly, and out of this, mostly you guys will be working on VNet, subnet, NSGs, because VPN will be configured once. We will not be configuring VPNs all the time. But these kind of things we'll do maybe in a week. Like that may be a repetitive task or something, because we need to provision some new resources and we need to ensure some traffics or filter out some traffics. So creation of VNet, subnet, NSGs, that will be more frequently happening than the VPN. And on the other network, like network, it is not like it is only creating once while you starting the project or something. But the thing is, mainly we need to understand the frequent, like more frequent resources that we will be creating while we are in that role. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So yeah, it's like that. And here, yeah, let's see. There are two kind of traffics actually happening here. One is inbound. Okay. Other is outbound. Okay. Inbound traffic is like it will be comes under the like yeah, we have to configure these two in an NSG. Okay, so we will see two options there, inbound and outbound. So both are come under NSG. Okay, so if you are saying yeah, you are configuring NSG or something, definitely there will be two components, inbound and outbound. So you can configure that. So you can add roles. You will say it has roles actually. Why it is roles is because either it is allowing or denying. Okay, that's why we are saying it as roles. So Yeah, and this, as I said, this can be associated with the NS a subnet level or a resource level as well. So we need to mention inbound and outbound according to the requirement. Okay, because normally there are some by default inbound and outbound rules. So we don't need to think about that sometimes actually, because there will be by default some inbound and outbound rule will be there. So we will be putting priorities to the rules. So what we will be using is, even if it is in inbound or outbound, we'll be creating some rules. Okay. So for example, yeah, rule 1, rule 2, like this. Okay. So the priority is like we need to set a priority. For example, this is having 100 priority, this is having 101, other role like role 4 having 200. So which means 100 is top having top priority. So this will be taking first, then this will be considered like that. Okay. So according to the digits and the priority, the lower number will be the higher priority like that. Okay. So we can create rules like that. Yeah, this we will cover. Do it today. So basically, this is the idea: creating routes, which means either we need to create routes in inbound or outbound. So inbound means the traffic coming inside. Okay. Outbound means the traffic going outwards. So the sum from the naming itself, you will be able to understand what it is. And there are default traffics as well. And while you creating an NSG, Azure will create an automatically, there will be by default, there will be some NS rules available. So once you are creating an NSG, okay, creating NSG, what happens is Azure will give you some default rules. Okay, one is allow VNet inbound, which is an inbound rule. Okay, so allow VNet inbound. It will be like the traffic coming inside, so which is inside a VNet, so that traffic will be allowed. Okay, so allow VNet inbound will be there. This will be created by default. We don't need to create it. It will be there by default. And also there is like deny all inbound. Okay, this will do what? This will deny. So here we have two, right? One is allow VNet and deny all inbound. So which means one is allow VNet inbound is like it will allow all traffic, correct? And here deny all inbound, which means it will deny all the traffic from outside. Here allow VNet. The VNet traffic will be allowed, but rest of the other traffic will be denied. So this will be create this kind of what roles will be created by default, and we can mention, like we can give priorities to the other roles so that it can be like applied. It will be working more, will be getting more priority than the existing one. So I'll be going and I'll be creating that VM for now so that you guys understand. Let me create a VNet. I'll try to replicate the same. Okay. So VNet subnet.
Sir, the voice is getting like sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's very low. It's not in a good
Okay,
consistency.
okay. Don't know what's happening. Something is password because I don't have any issues here. So, how it is like? Are you like? Can you hear my voice clearly?
Yeah, now it's fine. I think it's also
Yes, sir.
raining
Now it's
outside
good.
here. So I think I might have some trouble with network maybe.
Yeah. Also, yeah. Sometimes that may happen with Zoom as well. So that's the. So, do you have any questions on this, guys? Otherwise, I can just start with this answer.
I think we can move ahead. Sufyan, are you fine?
No, no questions. We can move over ahead.
Okay. So, let me log into once again. Guys, give me some time, guys. Like to check because I'm facing some issues with this lab environment. It's working, but it is not.
Vian?
Yeah.
Yes.
One second, I'm facing some issues with the lab, so that's I'm just checking.
Okay.
When I was talking, sorry for the interruption, guys. Actually, was responding. I'm just troubleshooting. So, yeah, let me create a virtual network, 3 subnets. Okay. I'll take /20 for now. And here, yeah, that's it. Subnet. Let me create. So now I created 3 subnets. Okay. Then I'll try to create 4 VMs. I don't know whether that is possible with this lab, but yeah, I'll try. So here the idea is like how that access is happening. So for example, I'll take this for a pilot test that is creating. Let me give you another example. Here it is created. So now I need different VMs, right? Okay. So creating virtual machines, data Azure virtual machine. VM test 01. US. giving the username and password over here. See, here we are mentioning inbound port rules. Okay, but all rules has to be enabled by default. Okay, so I am only selecting RDP level 3894. Okay. Here I am selecting subnet 1 and yeah, I'll be creating public IP as well. IP test. I'm creating it. It's giving a warning. Yeah, RDP is actually open to internet. Yeah, that we are fine with that for now. Where it's created. So here, see what happens is either while creating a VM, what happens, an NIC will be created, right? So for this NIC, actually we can associate, as I said, we can associate a NSG. So this NSG2 is bind to this NIC. Okay, NSG2 is bind with this NIC. And this thing, NSG1, that is bind with what? This subnet. Okay, so whatever the resources we are provisioning inside this VM, sorry, in this subnet, this NSG1 will be applicable. And if we are using NSG1 for any other VMs, then this NSG2 will be applicable by default. Okay, because this do you get that idea? Do you have any confusions on this, like how it is applied?
Because it doesn't have any RDP, I guess.
Yeah, like yeah, just forget about this for now. Just saying, yeah, only that security groups applying the method of applying those like assigning that security group. That's what I'm discussing. You get that idea, like how it is assigning. Here NSG2 is like associated with this NIC1, but here NSG1 is associated with subnet level. Do you get that idea?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, because if it is associated with an NIC, it will be in a scope of this VM only. All right. If it is
Yes.
Associated with the subnet, then it will be what will be under the scope of entire subnet. So whatever the services or resources that we are deploying inside this subnet, it will by default, it will be applied to this NSC as well. So here you can't see any NSC applied over the subnet level. That's why we are not getting NSC1 here. Here we have applied NIC1, which means what? It will use only NSC2.
Okay.
Do you get that?
Yeah, yes, sir. If NSG1 is applied, then
Yeah, it is like we can associate NSG to subnet level or NIC level. So, and the filtering will be happen according to whenever we are assigning NIC1 to VM1, then it will get NSG1, NSG2 capability. If we are putting VM1 in subnet 1, then NSG1 capability will be applied like that.
okay.
Let me check whether NSG is there or not. Okay, network security group is created. See, by default it is created. Even if it is plain, yeah, see, this is the routes that I talked about. Okay, inbound and outbound. So see, there are 3 routes by default, right? We can't do anything with this. So this will be 3 by default. It will allow VNet inbound, allow Azure load balancer inbound, and also deny all inbound. So there are some. These are the priorities that I talked about. Different priorities it has. So here RDP is enabled. See, it is having 300 priority and RDP 3389 port. It is TCP protocol. From any source to any destination, it is what it is allowed. So which means we can access a VM which is associated to this NSG, okay, via RDP. That's what it is saying. If you click on here, you will see that see from which source we need to, yeah, this is how we need to configure a route. Okay. For example, here we have mentioned RDP is what allowed, correct? So how that rule is created? They have mentioned, okay, source is any. So from any source, it can come inside. Okay. What all ports? We put star, which means every port. So there is no restrictions on that. Destination also any, which means, yeah, it can go to anywhere inside that period. Then service is what? RDP. So RDP is using 3389 port. So it will mention and priority is 300. Okay. So it will go through these routes and take the higher priority one. Here 300 is only one, so it will take that. And we can save it. So it will create what? A rule here. So yeah, if I click on inbound roles, I'm able to see this only. I can add rules as well. If I add rules, yeah, source any, destination any, service I'm looking for is SSH, for example. So we have 22, right? 22 is the port that we will be used for SSH. That's fine, and allow. And I'm putting 10 as a priority. Okay, and the name that we have, either it will give a like one name, or we can provide it like SSH. I'm adding this. Okay, see, that is created, and the priority is 310. That's why it is down. If we change this priority to 310 to 290, what happens? It will go up. So the priority matters. Are you getting this?
Yes, so it means like these virtual machines can be access through SSH and RDP as well.
Yeah. Why? Because we
And
enabled this.
yeah,
And
we enable.
even, yeah, then think about one thing. Even we have a public IP. Example, this is the VM1. Okay. I'm planning to take an RDP. Okay. I do have a public IP. So I am trying to access this. So here, let's say I have one NSG, okay, NSG1, okay, which deny 3389. Okay, just think about it. It is denying 3389. Then what will happen? Even if they have public IP, they can't do RDP because it is denying with the help of what? This NSG. You get me?
Yes.
Yeah, do you remember I explained one scenario. Yeah, one real world scenario, you remember? I told you like one project they will not allow to take RDP and one server was there. Then we bring some. You remember in the last session, I think we have
Yeah, yes,
discussed it.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here I said now RDP is disabled. How RDP is disabled? With the help of NSG.
NSG, okay.
Yeah. So we will either we will do what? Either we will deny it, means we can deny, or we can only allow some rules itself. So if we have some allow rules here, then the traffic will go. If that rule is not there, it will block. It's like that. And if we need to specifically deny something, that's also possible. Okay. So main thing is like whatever we need to allow, that we will mention in inbound rules. So make sure that inbound, because what happening if we are considering a VM, okay, if we are considering, yeah, if we are considering this VM, what is happening actually for this VM? Actually, it's an inbound role, right? Coming inside. So it is an inbound role. So we can mention whether we need to enable or disable 338922. Okay, what all we need to, that we can mention in and network security group. This is very important. That's why I'm dedicatedly taking a session on this. And also there is some rules that is called outbound. Okay. So what outbound is doing, I'll show you what it is. See, we have outbound rules also. So here what it is like deny outbound and it is allowing. So if we just like restrict some access or some kind of things, then we can mention here. So from VM to outward, okay, the traffic will be like, we can define what all things that can be go outside. We can, if we are mentioning, okay, we need to disable this 80 to outward, then we can mention that. We can deny this port 80 port. Okay. So like this we can mention. So mainly it is up to creating inbound and outbound rule. It is for filtering the traffic, and we can restrict access like basically for 3389, 22. I'm talking about RDP, SSH and all. Okay, so we can restrict it. So according to the requirement, we will be able to configure this. Okay, and if we have if we have two network security groups, one is like the subnet level. Let's see, RDP is enabled. For example, it will allow. Okay, but in NSG2, if RDP is not allowed, then what happens? The traffic will come and will go through NSG1 and it will reach NSG2. And what happens?
It restricts.
Correct. So if, for example, if 22 SSH port is enabled here and 22 is enabled here, then what will do? This traffic will go through here. It will check. Okay, so 22 is enabled. Then it will go forward. Then check 22 is enabled. Okay, then it will reach this here.
It's like a toll gate.
Correct. And so here I'm saying RDP is enabled for subnet 1 and RDP is disabled for NSG2. Okay, NSG1 RDP enabled, NSG2 RDP disabled. Okay, so let's consider when a RDP traffic is coming in and it is checking in NSG1, what happens? It will check, okay, that RDP is enabled. So what will do? It will reach the VM. So we will be able to RDP to VM2, correct? Can we take RDP to VM1?
RDP to VM1.
Here
No,
RDP is
not
enabled,
directly.
but here RDP is disabled, so we can't, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In NSG2, RDP is disabled. So, yeah, one traffic is coming inside. RDP's traffic is coming. 3389. So it is checking. RDP is disabled. So can we take RDP to VM3?
No, it won't allow.
Yeah, it will not allow. Correct. And if a traffic is coming here, I'm doing an SSH, okay, which means 22. I'm coming inside, but can I take SSH to the VM4?
Yes, we can.
Why?
Because it doesn't have any restrictions.
Correct. Can we take 3389 here, RDP?
Yes, we can take.
Yeah, because there is no restrictions because no NSGs
No
were
restrictions.
associated. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is how subnet level NSG, NSG level NSG, and without NSG is happening. Okay.
Okay. So,
Any
sir,
queries?
NSG. So basically, like the NSG is like a check-in point where we provide on the certain points, right? So
Yeah. It is kind of access like access control list. For example,
yes,
if we have a home, okay, and one security is standing over here, and he will check like there is a door, so all can come in from this door, but the security will check, okay, do you have something? If they are saying, okay, I'm 3389, and he will check in the list, okay, if 3389 is allowed or disallowed. Okay, 3389 is allowed. So he said, okay, you can go in. And if that is not allowed, like RDP is disabled, he will say, okay, you are 3389, right? You can't go inside. You can go outside. You will not enter into this premises. Like that. It's something like that. It's a list actually, access controls list, which means whatever the accesses it have, it will allow. Others it will deny. That's it. Okay.
so maximum, sir, how many NSGs we can provide? Like just two or maybe more than two?
Yeah. Basically, we can apply like a NIC level as well as subnet level. So two, at least one or two we can do, and we can assign more than one NIC card. So which means we can have more than two NSGs as well. Because for a VM, we can assign multiple NIC cards. Okay.
Okay.
So we can assign NSG to a NIC card, right? So if I'm like applying, I'm assigning one NIC to this VM. I can also attach what NSG 3 here, right? So here 1, 2, 3 will be there, right? So more than one NIC is capable, like it will support a VM so that we can create more than two NSG. No issues. Okay. Any questions do you have so that we can look into it? In other words, like we can live.
No, sir, no questions.
It's failing. I think this lab is facing some issues. That's why it is. So the idea is like, and we can check. We have one VM, right? Even if it is not started, we can check whether it is having an NSG or not. So you need to go to networking. So in network settings, you can see that. See, network security group is attached, right? So here you can see, okay, SSS can be done, RTP can be done. So actually, I made this change in that NSG, but what happened? It is upgrade over here, right? So it is like attaching an NSG. And here we have only one NIC card available. There is an option to attach network interface. So which means we can attach extra NIC card if needed. Okay, so see, create an attached network interface. If you have network interface available, we will be able to do that. So we can attach multiple NSGs as well. Okay, to check whether this NSG is applied to a VM, just go to networking and network settings. It will give you here. Also, if you go to this NIC card, okay, here also you can see. If you are going to that NIC, you can go to NSG here. So here you can select which NSG that I need to associate. If we have more than one NSG associated, then we can select it. So we can associate one NSG to a network interface. Okay. So it is like a relation like one-to-one. So if you have any card, you can associate one NSG group. That's it. Okay.
So let's say, sir, if we have 4 virtual machines in one subnet, so
okay.
Can we apply NSG for all of them, or is there any like restrictions? No, we can just apply to one virtual machine or something.
Yeah, I'll come to your question. What you are saying, we have a VNet, okay?
And yeah, we have one subnet, and in that subnet, let's say if we have like 4 virtual machines.
Okay, in only one subnet we have 4 virtual machines. That you are talking, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, then let's consider this as a subnet. This is a VNet, and this is the subnet. Okay, so I have ideally 1, 3, 4 VMs. Okay. So I have NIC 1, NIC 2, NIC 3, NIC 4. Okay. Separate NICAD for all. And we can apply NSG in subnet level, right? So if I need to like apply the same role for these 4 VMs, okay, VM 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking I need to disable RDP for all of this VM, okay. Rather than going and creating NSG for all these VMs separately, what we can do, I can associate one NSG to the subnet level and I can mention, okay, please deny 3389. So what will do? If
So
we
is it a
have,
requirement, sir?
yeah, for example, if we have a requirement, see,
Okay, okay.
you have a requirement like disable RDP for all the servers. We can do what? We can create an NSG one and attach this subnet K. So which says disable 3389. So whenever one traffic comes with 3389, it will not allow us to enter, right? So which means
Yes,
it
sir.
is disabled here itself.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so we
So
can do
that's
that.
the NSG one.
Yeah, NSC one. It is a subnet level. That's why I attached with the subnet. Okay.
Okay.
And let's say I need to enable 22. Okay, port 22 to these 2 VMs. Okay, but I need to disable at 22 to these 2 VMs. So what I need to do here, 333 is disabled, 22 is enabled. Okay, so this traffic will go. Once this is going, like every VM can be accessible using the 22 port, right? So I need to disable the access of NAT card 1 and 4. Okay.
So NSG would be apply on 1 and 4 then. It won't allow 22 to access.
So first of all, what I need to do, I need to say, yeah, enable 22. Okay. That I can do here. And if I need to restrict access to this, what I can do? Do you have any idea?
We should apply NSG2.
NSG2, okay. I can associate NSG2. To which VMs I can enable?
Depends if we don't want to access 1 and 4, so we should put NSG on 1 and 4 and say 22 is not allowed that.
Okay. Okay. So see, let's say 3 and 4. I need to restrict to port 22 access to 3 and 4. Okay. Okay. So think if I have an NSG, okay, a normal NSG, which does not have any kind of entries. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you one more thing. See, let me go to that NSG. Okay. Here what we are doing, we can do SSH and RDP as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? We can create, like we can go to SSH and RDP, correct?
Yes, sir. And we gave SSH as the priority.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, one user is coming with SSH. Yeah, it will go. If other user with RDP, that will also go. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So I'm deleting SSH. Okay, I'm deleting SSH, which means I didn't mention anything regarding SSH over here. Okay, what will happen here? Will this NSG will allow any SSH traffic?
No, sir. It will deny.
It will deny, correct?
Yes.
So if we need to allow, then we need to create a rule, correct? We
Yes,
are
sir.
getting that idea.
Yes, sir. Because it just got like two options, whether to allow or to deny.
Yeah. Here we have action allow and deny. That's fine. But see, inbound rule, if we delete these RDP rules also, it will not allow, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that means if we need to allow some kind of protocols, then we need to create a rule. By default, everything will be like denied, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
That means if I'm thinking I need to disable 22 port 4, 3 and 4, then to which VMs I need to assign NSG to? Any idea?
Let's say if we want to allow VM1, I mean if you want to access VM1 through 22, so we should create NSG1 and NSG2. In that we should mention as 20. I mean 22 to access VM1 and NSG1 and 2.
Exactly. For example, I need to, For example, I need to allow 22 to these two VMs. Okay. Or the concept is I need to restrict access 22 access to these two VMs. What I need to do, if I need to restrict access to this two, either I can create an NSG 2 over here that mentions 22 is enabled and I can attach to this NIC, correct? So the traffic will go and it will be able to handle, and this 3 and 4 will not be like getting that 22 traffic, correct?
Yes, sir.
Or we can create another NSG as well. Okay. NSG 3, which mention 22 is disabled, but this is not needed. Why? By default, it will be disallowed, correct? It will be denied. So we don't need to think about a NSG and extra cost and all, correct? So we don't need to think about it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and yes, and there is another option also. We can mention in this rule, like apart from creating this kind of rule, we can mention IP as well, which means if I need to allow 22 to these two machines, I can mention, okay, pub IP 1 and pub IP 2. Okay, I can mention rule like this so that the traffic will be only open to this. It's also possible, but don't think about this now. While you are just trying your lab, then you can just do it. Okay. So that is what NSG is. It is very important. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I hope you got the idea and just
yes.
Just make sure that you are doing it. And as I said, you just try it with your sandboxes you have. And if it is not possible, it is not happening, then go for the trial. Okay. That's
Okay,
the,
sir.
yeah, that's all about today actually. If you have any questions, just go ahead and I'll sort it out. Otherwise, like we can finish for today and we can start a new entire thing and the upcoming session.
Okay, no question, sir. So basically, NSG is nothing but it's a ticket, stating that whom should we allow and whom should not be allowed.
Yeah. Like, yeah. So whatever entries are there, if it is allowed, then it will allow. If that entry is not there, it will deny. And
It
if
will
we
deny.
have a entry like deny this, then it will also be. That is basically like, yeah. It's like a access control list. It will mention who all access, then go. If not, they will not allow. I hope, Abdullah, are you okay with this?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, with all these concepts, just try your hands on because it's very important. So just do it. Then, because while doing only, you will be getting different queries actually.
Yeah, sir. I just hope that my account, if it doesn't work out, then I will just make a new email and get sorted out.
Yeah, definitely. Go for it. Okay, go for it. So that's all about today, guys.